The aroma of garlic and butter filled the kitchen, mingling with the low hum of an old jazz record spinning in the background. Ethan stirred the pasta sauce, trying, failing, not to be hyper-aware of Liam standing beside him, their shoulders nearly touching. "You're burning it," Liam teased, leaning in closer, his voice warm, familiar. Ethan huffed, nudging him with his elbow. "I am not. And if you're not helping, at least stay out of my space." Liam didn't move. If anything, he seemed to inch closer. It was subtle, barely noticeable, but Ethan felt it, just like he felt everything else lately. They had been best friends for years, the kind of bond built on late-night talks, inside jokes, and effortless trust. But something had shifted recently, something Ethan couldn't quite name. Liam's touches lingered longer, his stares held weight, and every casual brush of skin sent an unspoken question crackling in the air between them. Ethan wanted to believe it meant something. But Liam was straight, had always been straight. And Ethan had learned the hard way not to mistake kindness for something more. Still, it was difficult to ignore moments like this. Liam reached for the bottle of wine, his arm grazing Ethan's in a way that felt too intentional. "You ever wonder," he mused, pouring them each a glass, "if things could have turned out differently? Like, if life had nudged us in another direction?" Ethan's grip tightened on the wooden spoon. His pulse stuttered, 1,000 meanings threading through Liam's words. He forced a smirk. "That's oddly philosophical for a guy who still thinks dinosaurs and humans coexisted." Liam chuckled, but his eyes, dark, searching, never left Ethan's face. "I'm just saying. Life's weird." Ethan swallowed hard, willing his voice to stay steady. "Yeah, it is." They ate at the kitchen table, laughter filling the space, masking the tension thickening with each passing second. And then, without thinking, Liam reached across, his thumb grazing the corner of Ethan's mouth. "You had sauce." The room shrank. Liam's touch lingered a fraction too long, his gaze dipping to Ethan's lips before flickering away. He pulled back like he hadn't just set the world spinning, clearing his throat. "Didn't want you looking ridiculous." Ethan forced a laugh, his heart hammering. Appreciate the heroic effort. But something had changed. The moment passed, but the weight of it settled deep in Ethan's chest. Was he imagining things? Reading too much into nothing? Or was Liam feeling it too, this electric, undeniable pull? As they cleaned up, Liam hesitated in the doorway, as if on the verge of saying something. Then, with a small shake of his head, he walked away. Ethan exhaled, staring at the empty kitchen. What if? He wasn't sure he was ready for the answer. A storm raged outside, wind howling against the windows as rain lashed at the glass. Inside, the kitchen glowed warm, the dim light from a single candle flickering between Ethan and Liam. The power had gone out an hour ago. They had planned to watch a movie, but now they were here, sitting across from each other at the kitchen counter, sharing a bottle of wine, the storm outside no match for the turbulence inside Ethan's chest. Liam swirled the liquid in his glass, eyes unfocused. "It's weird, isn't it? How life throws things at you that you never saw coming." Ethan studied him. "Like what?" Liam hesitated, then exhaled a quiet laugh. "I don't know. Just things." The vagueness of his words sent a ripple of unease through Ethan, but he let it go. Instead, he watched Liam. The way his fingers tapped against the glass, the way his gaze flickered to Ethan's lips when he thought he wasn't looking. He wasn't imagining this. Was he? Liam set his glass down, rubbing the back of his neck. "I've been thinking a lot lately." "Dangerous," Ethan teased, though his voice was softer than he intended. Liam huffed a quiet laugh, but didn't look away. "I mean it. About things I never let myself think about before." The air between them thickened, the storm outside nothing compared to the tension crackling between them. Ethan's pulse pounded in his ears. He could push, demand an answer, force Liam to put words to the things he had only hinted at. Or he could let it go. He almost did. Almost. But then Liam shifted closer, their knees brushing beneath the counter, and suddenly, the question was too heavy to keep inside. "What are you saying, Liam?" A muscle in Liam's jaw ticked. He didn't move away. "I don't know. His voice faltered, and for the first time, Ethan saw something raw in his expression. Fear, uncertainty, desire. Ethan barely had time to process it before Liam leaned in. It was slow, hesitant, his breath warm against Ethan's skin, giving him every chance to pull away. But Ethan didn't. He couldn't. And then contact. Liam's lips brushed against his, featherlight unsure. A shiver ran down Ethan's spine, every nerve ending coming alive. But just as quickly as it happened, Liam pulled back, eyes wide, breath uneven. Liam started, but no words followed. Instead, he stood abruptly, chair scraping against the floor, hands shaking as he raked them through his hair. I shouldn't have done that. Ethan's stomach dropped. Liam. I'm sorry, Liam muttered, turning away, retreating down the hall before Ethan could say another word. The storm outside raged on. Inside, Ethan sat frozen, heart still racing, mind screaming one thing. He felt it too. Ethan hadn't seen Liam all day. He told himself it didn't matter, that last night's kiss was nothing. Just a drunken impulse, a mistake Liam regretted. But the tightness in his chest, the restless energy thrumming beneath his skin, said otherwise. By the time night fell, he couldn't take it anymore. He found Liam in the kitchen, leaning against the counter, staring at his phone like it held the answers to the universe. Ethan cleared his throat. Avoiding me? Liam flinched, pocketing his phone. No. Really? Because you haven't said a word to me since last night. Liam exhaled sharply, rubbing the back of his neck. Ethan, he hesitated, frustration flickering across his face. I don't know what you want me to say. Ethan crossed his arms. The truth would be a good start. Liam dragged a hand down his face, looking anywhere but at Ethan. I was drunk. It didn't mean anything. The words hit harder than Ethan expected. He forced a hollow laugh. Right. Just like all the other times you've acted like this meant something. Just like all the looks, the touches, the way you... He cut himself off, shaking his head. Forget it. Liam clenched his jaw. It's not that simple. No. Ethan stepped closer, heat rising in his chest. Then tell me what it is. Tell me why you kissed me. Why you keep looking at me like you want something you won't admit. Liam's breath hitched. For a second, Ethan saw it again, the hesitation, the fear, the want. But then, just as quickly, Liam shut down. I can't. His voice was barely above a whisper. Ethan swallowed hard. Can't or won't. Liam looked away. That was the answer. The kitchen felt colder, the space between them now an impossible distance. Ethan nodded slowly, his throat tightening. I get it. He forced a smile that felt like breaking. Don't worry, Liam. I won't make the mistake of thinking this is anything more than a joke to you. Liam's head snapped up, eyes flashing with something Ethan couldn't place. Anger, regret, something close to pain. But Ethan didn't wait for a reply. He turned on his heel and walked away. This time, Liam didn't stop him. Ethan was done waiting. For days, the silence between him and Liam had stretched too wide, filled with words left unsaid. The apartment, once a place of easy laughter and shared meals, felt suffocating. If Liam wasn't going to face the truth, Ethan had to make the choice for both of them. Tonight, he wouldn't walk away. He found Liam in the kitchen again, like it was some unspoken battleground between them. This time, Liam didn't have his usual cocky grin or easy charm. He looked tired. Haunted. Good. Ethan was tired too. You don't get to kiss me and then pretend it didn't happen, Ethan said, voice firm, unwavering. Liam stiffened. Ethan, please. No. You don't get to run from this. Not after everything. Ethan took a step forward, forcing Liam to look at him. You felt something. I know you did. Liam inhaled sharply, his hands curling into fists at his sides. It's not that simple. Yes, it is, Ethan shot back. You're scared. I get it. But don't stand here and tell me that kiss didn't mean anything. That we don't mean anything. Liam's jaw tightened. I don't know how to do this, Ethan. His voice was raw now, unguarded. I don't know what it means for me. For us. Ethan's anger wavered, giving way to something softer. He stepped closer, their breaths mingling in the space between them. Then let's figure it out. Together. Liam's gaze darted to Ethan's lips, then back to his eyes. And this time, he didn't pull away. I'm terrified, Liam admitted, voice barely above a whisper. Ethan swallowed hard. So am I. The space between them vanished. Liam's hand hesitantly found Ethan's, fingers curling around his like an unspoken promise. No more running. No more questions. Just them.